Yeah, well, I'll just yell. So, I've been telling this joke since I was in first grade, and it's probably one of my favorite jokes. So a guy moves to New York City, and he's checking out the new bars around the area, and he finds out there's a bar at the top of the Empire State Building. So he goes to the top, he takes the elevator all the way up, and he walks in, and the guy sitting at the bar recognizes he's a new guy. So he walks over to the guy, and he says, "Hey, you look like you're new here." And he said, "Yeah, you know, I moved into the city, I found out there's a bar at the top of the Empire State Building, and I decided to check it out." He said, "Oh, let me show you around." And so he walks over to the side, and he says, "You see that gun over there?" He said, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, that gun was used by James Bond in Goldfinger." And he's like, "Oh, wow, that's really cool." So he walks over and he's like, "You see those ruby slippers?" "Yeah." "Well, those are the ruby slippers that Dorothy used in Wizard of Oz." "Wow, that's really cool." "You see that window over there?" "Yeah." "That's the magic window." "Bullshit, what's the magic window?" He's like, "No, I'm serious. You jump out of the window, you drop 40 stories, you stop, you rise back up and walk into the window. It's like magic window." He's like, "No way." He's like, "Absolutely." He's like, "Can you show me?" So the guy who's from the bar, he says, "Yeah, sure." He jumps out of the window, drops 40 stories, stops, rises back up, and walks into the window. And the guy's like, "No way, I can't believe it. How many times can you do this?" He's like, "I can do it all day." "All right, show me again." Guy jumps out of the window, drops 40 stories, stops, rises back up, and walks into the window. And guy, "Can anyone do that?" "Absolutely." So the new guy jumps out of the window, drops 110 stories. He's actually supposed to hit the microphone, so it's loud. 110 stories, splat all over the pavement. The old guy, walks back to the bar, and the bartender says to the guy, "You know, Superman, you're a real jerk when you're drunk."
That's so fucked up.
You guys want to hear any other kind of jokes? So give me a topic. Give me any topic.
Bombs!
Bombs?
Yeah, make fun of your mom.
Oh, my mom. I can get a whole day. Your mom. Yeah, we don't need I can do a whole. All right, I got one. Not about your mom. I don't know where the line is, but a priest, a rabbi, and a pastor. A priest and a rabbi always go fishing, and a new pastor comes into town, and they say, "Hey, you want to come fishing with us?" And so sure. So the priest and the rabbi are all prepared, and he invites the pastor to go fishing. They go out on the boat, and the priest says, "Oh, I forgot the cigarettes." And he's like, "Cigarette?" And the pastor's like, "Cigarettes? What's going on?" And so he walks out of the boat, walks all the way across the water onto the shore, and he goes into the car, gets the cigarettes, walks all the way across the water, walks back into the boat. And the guy says, the pastor's like, "This is a miracle. We have Jesus Christ right here with us." And so the rabbi says, "Oh, I forgot the booze." So he walks out of the boat, walks across the water to the shore, goes into the car, grabs the alcohol, walks across the water, and walks into the boat. And he says, "Oh my God, this is amazing. This is a religious miracle I've never seen before. This is what I've been preaching is now coming true. This is amazing." And so the pastor, thinks, maybe I can be part of this miracle, and he's so excited, and he's like, I forgot the porno magazines." And so he steps out of the boat, and drowns right there. And so the rabbi says to the priest, "You think we should have told him where the rocks were?" All right, I'll end on one more. It's not no one dies in this show. So this is one more. So the guy's sitting on a bus, and all of a sudden, the most beautiful nun walks onto the bus. The most beautiful nun walks onto the bus, and the guy says, he's beside himself. This is the most beautiful nun. And so he goes over to the nun and says, "Excuse me, nun, you are by far the most beautiful nun I've ever seen. I was wondering if I could have sex with you." And she blushes and says, "Well, I'm married to God. I can't. But thank you. That's so flattering. Thank you so much." And so the nun gets off the bus, and as the guy's about to get off the bus driver says, "I know how you can have sex with this nun." He's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You just need to get into a priest costume and go into confessional and say that God has commanded you to have sex with her, and she'll have to have sex with you." He's like, "Oh, that's a great idea." So he gets a priest costume, takes her into confessional, and so the guy says, "Sister, God has commanded me to have sex with you." And again, she blushes again and says, I can't have sex with you. I'm married to God. And said, well, and she says, my vagina belongs to God, I married God, and, I can't accept it. She's like, well, and so the guy says, well, what about anal? Well, if God commanded you, then, I guess we have, if God commanded you. So they get into bed, and, after they have sex, the guy takes off his priest mask and says, hey, I'm the guy from the bus. And the nun takes off her mask and says, hey, I'm the bus driver.
Oh my god.